Hi everyone, so today we're going to be solving systems of equations by substitution. We're going to take a look at pretty simple examples today and then more complicated ones tomorrow. So these are level 1. Okay, solving systems of equations by substitution. So we're going to be looking at equations that are both set equal to the same variable. So when both equations are set equal to the same variable, first thing we're going to do is set the equations equal to each other and solve. So we're really going to be substituting in and setting them equal to each other. And then solve for the other variable as we normally would, and make sure you write your answer as an ordered pair. So here we have y equals negative 4x plus 2 and y equals 6x minus 8. So we notice here that these are both equal to y. So when it's in this format, you're going to follow the same thing that we're doing today unless they tell you otherwise. This is going to be the easiest way to solve this kind of system, and it's really simple as long as you know exactly what to do. So basically what we're going to be doing is we know that y is equal to both of these. So we're going to be taking what this y is equal to and substituting that in for this y. So basically, we're just going to be taking these equations and setting them equal to each other. We're going to be taking that first equation and substituting it in for this y. So when we do that, it's going to end up looking like this. 4x, that's a negative 4x, plus 2 is equal to 6x minus 8. So I just took this negative 4x plus 2, substituted in for this y, because they were both equal to the same thing. And then from there, we solve this. There's a couple different ways you can start this. I'm going to start by moving the variable with the smaller coefficient to avoid those negatives. Make sure you line up your like terms. You don't want to add this to the negative 8. They're not like terms, so you can't combine those. That cancels. I'm going to bring down the 2. You can draw your train tracks if you want to help keep you organized. 6x plus 4x is 10x minus 8. Keep solving. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. Cancels, we get 10 equals 10x. I'm going to just move this over here so a little bit more space. 10 equals 10x. Divide by 10 on both sides. That cancels, this cancels. 10 divided by 10 is 1. So we get 1 is equal to x, which is the same as x equals 1. Maybe we could switch those around. Okay, so that's our first variable. So all we did was set our equations equal to each other and solve for that first variable. Now we're going to use that information and we're going to solve for the second variable. So I'm going to just draw a squiggly line. And remember, we can take that x value and plug it into either one of these original equations. Doesn't matter which one. So I'm going to just pick the second one for no reason. I just like the number 6 and the number 8, nice and even. And we're going to take that 1 and substitute it in wherever we see x. So we have an x right there, and I'm going to substitute 1 in. But remember, everything else stays the same. The only thing that changed was that x. Now we solve over here. 6 times 1 is 6. Bring everything down. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. So we get y is equal to negative 2. And write your answer as an ordered pair. Our answer is 1 comma negative 2. Okay, we're going to take a look at another example. I just want to summarize. When they're both equal to that same variable, it can be y equals something and then x equals something. As long as they're the same variable, you can set them equal to each other and solve from there. Let's take a look at one more example. Okay, solve the following system of equations. We have y equals 9x, y equals 3x minus 24. This is the majority of what, if you're on Delta Math today, this is what you're going to see. So remember, when both equations are equal to the same variable, so in this case it's still y, set them equal to each other and solve. So we're going to be basically substituting this 9x in for this y. So we're going to get 9x equals 3x minus 24. I'm going to solve by subtracting the 3x on both sides. So we get 6x equals 24. Divide your 6 on both sides. Set that x by itself. We get x is equal to 4. Okay, now let's solve for y. Doesn't matter which equation you substitute into, but I'm going to pick the one that looks simpler, so the one that's the easiest, which is this first one, because we just have y equals 9x. It's a pretty small equation. I'm going to take my 4. Oh, that should be a negative 4. Hopefully you caught that. This is a minus 24, so this should be negative, and this should be negative. So remember, always watch those signs. Sometimes I forget too, as long as you catch yourself. Okay, so we're going to substitute negative 4 in over here. Bring everything else down. Multiply those. We get negative 36. And y is equal to negative 36. Make sure you write your answer as an ordered pair. I'm going to do that up here. Put that in green. So we get negative 4, comma, negative 36. And that is our answer. So if we were to graph both these lines, that's the point that they would intersect at. Remember, you could have chosen this equation to plug in for x and solve. Either one should give you the same answer. If they don't, that means something is wrong. So if I were to plug in that positive 4 here, then I knew something would have been off because it wouldn't give me the same thing as if I were to plug it in here. So it has to work for both of those equations. So if you have two equations that are equal to the same variable, set them equal to each other, solve for the first variable, and then substitute to find the other one. Good luck.